Wait until a bunch of these little kids out playing gets to be the innocent bystander that gets shot.
Only on News 5 tonight, we are digging into the history of an Ashtabula home where police say a murder suspect tried to hide the evidence. Investigators say a 13-year-old girl was intentionally killed, her life sacrificed in order to make even on a drug debt.
This afternoon, neighbors say they've been trying to warn the city about that house for years, with police responding there dozens of times. Those neighbors spoke with News 5's Megan Hickey, and they want to know why nothing could be done to stop the never-ending violence there.
Neighbors tell me that they've been complaining about the property for years, but learning that it's allegedly connected to a child's murder was the final straw.
Every time he goes to jail, they let him out.
It's a homeowner's nightmare seeing their neighbor's mugshot on TV.
For what reason? For something like this little girl to get killed?
20-year-old Malachi Schultz arrested and charged in connection with the kidnapping death of a 13-year-old girl. But these neighbors aren't just upset.
It aggravates me and it ticks me off.
They're furious.
It does make me mad.
Mad because they tell me they've been calling Ashtabula police on this house for years.
But that house, it's been a disaster since they moved in.
We checked for ourselves. 43 calls for service since the current residents moved in less than 3 years ago. Disturbances, harassment, theft, fighting, a stabbing, menacing, assault, multiple felony warrants, and domestic violence cases, including a case in which Schultz was convicted of assaulting his pregnant girlfriend. But even though they continued to call the cops, the problem was never remedied.
It's not fair to anyone that they can't do something.
There is a criminal nuisance ordinance for residential properties in Ashtabula, but the city solicitor told me that it only applies to rented properties. Solicitor Mike Franklin declined my request for an interview, saying that the city has limited resources to devote to nuisance abatement, citing a growing number of felonies in Ashtabula. It's not the answer these residents wanted to hear.
Do they need to wait until a bunch of these little kids out playing gets to be the innocent bystander that gets shot? No. They needed to have already done something.
Schultz was arrested on May 18th and now faces charges of obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence in the murder of 13-year-old Kara Zdanjewski. In Ashtabula, Megan Hickey, News 5.
News 5 is asking